Good morning. We're continuing on in James chapter 4. We're going to pick up at verse 13 and read through the end of that chapter, and then we will move on to the next chapter tomorrow. So I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got to go to church and fellowship with other believers there and also spend time with your family this weekend. It's so important. So, James chapter 4. Verse 13 says, "Come now, ye who say, today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a city, and spend a year there, and engage in business, and make a profit. Yet you do not know what your life will be like tomorrow. You are a vapor that appears for a little while, and then vanishes away. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live, and also do this or that. But as it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Therefore, to one who knows to do the right thing and does not do it, to him it is sin." So, pretty straightforward set of verses there. Um, we tend to regard this short life that we have as something a little more permanent than what it is. I think we make all these plans, we have all these grand schemes, and we have our bucket lists. I'm guilty of this as well. I have things I want to do in this life and bucket list things. And I have to remember that my life belongs to the Lord. And not only that, but it's a vapor. I mean, it's in the span of eternity, it's going to pass away pretty quick. If the Lord grants me 80 years, that's a long time in human terms, but that's not a long time in eternity. That's just a short little blip on the radar. And here we are running around saying, well, I'm going to do this, and then tomorrow I'm going to do this, and then next month I'm going to do this, and then in summertime I'm going to go on vacation, or the wintertime I'm going to take off during the holidays, and and all these things. We make these plans as though we are the one in control of time and space and the things that happen on earth, and we're not. We are slaves of Jesus Christ, and he is in charge of all of this, right? It's his universe. He runs the show. He is the potter. We are the clay. I tell this, I use this illustration a lot when I'm talking to people because it just makes sense to me, and hopefully it makes sense to you as well. When I was in high school, in art class, we had a couple of weeks there where we did pottery. And what happened in that was that they gave us a piece of clay and said, make something. You had people making cups, you had people making bowls, you had some people making ashtrays. I mean, you had people making all these kinds of things. And never once did the clay pop up and say, hey, I don't want to be a bowl. I want to be a cup. Or, hey, I don't want you to to form me today. I want you to, I've got you penciled in for next week. The clay doesn't have an option in what the potter does. The clay is there to be formed, and the potter makes all the decisions concerning the clay. And that's the way it is with God and us. God is the potter, we are the clay. And we can't just jump up and say, hey, I don't want you to make me this way. Or, hey, I need you to let me live longer because I got things I want to do. No. We are at the mercy of the will of God. And it is up to God what he will do with us and how we will live and what we will experience. It says in verse 15, instead, we ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. And I've heard, old timers in my day that would say that, Lord willing, I'm going to do this, or Lord willing, I'm going to do that. And that's a biblical thing to say. It's actually, it's an expression of submission to God. Lord willing, if the Lord wants me to, or if the Lord allows this to happen, then this and this and this is what I'm gonna do. And so we lean on that. We lean on the will of God. I've got friends and family members that are going through different things in life right now, and it's hard. It's hard as human beings to focus on the will of God and to lean and trust in Him when things are not going the way that you would want them to go, or things are not happening the way you wish they would happen, or even the way you prayed that it would happen. We got to remember that God is in control of all of this, and it's God's will that matters, not mine. You know, if it were up to me and my will, personally, my life would have been a lot easier. Things would have happened different in my life, and but they didn't, because it's not about my will. It's about God's will. And so we have to lean in and trust and submit to God. Look at verse 16. It says, excuse me, but as it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Therefore, to the one who knows to do the right thing and does not do it, to him it is sin. So, you know, you've got two avenues here. You submit and be humble. And, you know, last week we talked about humility and not condemning others and being humble. And James goes right into subjection to God now, right? If the Lord wills, I will do such and such. The flip side of that coin is arrogance. If you just think that you're going to run around here and do whatever you want to do and not consider the Lord's will, then that's arrogance, and that it's boasting, and that is evil. And James caps it with this comment. Therefore, to the one who knows to do the right thing and does not do it, to him it is sin. If you know what you're doing is wrong and you continue to do it, it is sin. If you abandon doing what is right knowingly to do what you want to do, then it is sin. And so I hope that you will consider this today, and certainly I am, and I'm considering how to make adjustments in my life, submitting myself more to the will of God and the things that I want to do, viewing those in the way of God's will, and rather than my own will. And so a short video today, but this was kind of really straight to the point, and I wanted to share just a couple of thoughts on that. If you have comments or prayer requests, questions, or anything like that, if you just want to let me know you watched the whole thing, you can put watched in the comments. That'd be great. That helps the algorithms, helps other people see these videos. Just put that down in the comments. Hit a like and subscribe if you want to get notifications whenever I'm on the YouTube. I'm going to try to start going live a little more often. So if you want to see that, you will get notifications for that if you hit the subscribe and the little bell notification button. So hope you enjoy your Monday. It's a little cool here in Oklahoma City today, which we are grateful for, but it's going to get hot later on in the week. So be prepared for that if you're in this area. So live out your faith, love on one another, and God bless you.